too often the significance and the importance of cleanliness and appearance and just overall how things look overall. And sometimes we overlook that and don't realize how important it is to make a good impression and to be a beautiful picture as it relates to when you look at something. That's true for a neighborhood, that's true for a car, that's true for a house, but guess what? It's also true for a whole community. And today we're going to give an organization that deals with this beauty in the community and the cleanliness in the community, an opportunity to kind of express, to the community what it does, but most importantly, what we as a community can do to assure that we have a clean, vibrant, and beautiful community. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Havisham, and now I'm interviewing, and I'm so happy to have with me today Miss Pam Carswell, who's the executive director of the KMBBC, Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful Commission.
Correct.
And and it's an important organization in our community that's been around a while. So let's just talk a little bit about the beginning of KMBBC.
Well, Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful is actually celebrating 45 years.
Oh, come on.
This year. It was founded by Miss Carolyn Creighton, and back then it was called the Clean Green Community. And we were actually the first in America and in Georgia. And if it wasn't for Miss Carolyn bringing this program to Macon, I don't know where we would be, but we have to contribute it to her. She is the beginning where it all started.
Well, while we're talking about it, we may as well plug in the Cherry
Blossom Festival. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. And Miss Creighton was very, very instrumental in our celebrating the Cherry Blossom Festival, which this year I happen to be the festival chair, and I'm excited about that. But so they're connected, they're first cousins really, because they're kind of connected in as it relates to Miss Creighton being the founder of both organizations.
Well, if I could give you a little history, Mr. Havisham, she founded Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful first, and then 7 years later, Mr. Fickling, Granddaddy Ficklin, they were grafting trees, and he thought he was grafting dogwoods. And I love hearing Mr. Bill 3 tell the story, and I'm sure he will be telling it sometime during the week of the festival. But he actually thought they were dogwoods, but then they had these beautiful pink blossoms,
right? And
they were Yoshino cherry trees.
Yes.
And with a partnership with Georgia Power, they planted 300 trees that year in Westland Woods subdivision, and that was the beginning of the Cherry Blossom Trail. And it was around Rivoli and on down into the trail. The trail went into Westland Woods subdivision where Miss Creighton lives. So that's how it all started, and she started with a 3-day festival, and then it went to a 10-day festival. Wow. And back in the day, she ran both KMBBC and the Cherry Blossom Festival. Right. She is a fabulous leader in our community. What she has brought to Macon come alive.
She absolutely is. Well, you talk about the planting of the trees, and Mr. Fickling's bringing them. So I understand that we need to make the presence of cherry blossom trees in our community cyclical. Which means that, sometimes they die out, but we need to continue to plant them. And there's something going on with them, isn't it?
Well, right now, and I brought a card to share with everyone. We it was brought to our attention by a group of folks. It started really with the Westland Woods Garden Club. We went out and surveyed the trees and found that they had dark spores kind of on the leaves. So with a group of people, they went out and they did a lot of research, Wayne Woodworth, Gary Wilson, they're both on the KMBBC Commission, Michael Gleason at Middle Georgia State University. A lot of folks were together, and they took the leaves, they studied them, and to find out they have what's called shot hole disease. And it's a little spore, and if you look on your leaves, and they have little black dots on them, that your trees have them, and that will cause them, to not to bloom. And if you have the leaves around the trunk of the trees, we tell you to rake those back and get them away. Pruning is a good way to care for them, to get some of the dead limbs off of them.
When you say prune, you mean cut them down?
Cut them back, yes.
The cherry blossom tree.
You have to
cut them down during a certain...
What you do, cut them down. Not now, because
yeah,
now they're getting ready to bloom right now. So, but you can spray them with a chemical and to kill it. And it spreads. So if you have one or two trees and the wind blows the leaves and it blows over to the sister tree in the yard, then it could very well have it. So we ask that you look at your trees. If they have them, call the office, come by. We've put out over 3,000 cards to residents and different organizations to tell them how to save and to care for their trees.
Yeah. Now, how can... if somebody does not have a tree or doesn't have trees in their yard, how can you find these things?
I'm glad you asked that. Yeah. Well, our big fundraiser for Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful is we sell cherry trees. So we will be selling them, and actually they arrive on the 15th of March. And when they come in, they're bare rooted, and they'll be in big, big bundles. We take them out and we give them what's called a bath. We soak them in a broth with these little crystals on them, so they're time released, so they keep the roots nice and moist. Then we partner with Macon-Bibb Parks and Beautification. So Randall Hunt, he has his crew, and Sam Kitchens, they'll be out there wrapping them. And if anyone would like to donate newspapers, we would love for them to call and drop them off at our office, 794 Cherry Street, or let us know, or if you can help us get the papers, because we wrap them in the papers. And then they will be ready to be sold after the 15th. They're $10, and they're 5 and 6 foot trees.
Okay, now, but you buy it, then you plant it, and
and we give cards. A card that'll tell you how to plant your tree.
Care card.
A care card. Yes, we have a care card, and this year we've updated our care card, and we've included other directions about how to care if you have other trees in your yard that you didn't think they bloomed like they normally do. So we've added that to our care card this year.
That's very, very important. Well, I know it takes more than your Shino cherry trees to keep Macon-Bibb beautiful. So talk a little bit about the other activities in which you are involved.
Well, right now, we met this week with all of our department heads with Macon-Bibb government, who are our biggest sponsors and partners. We met with the Chamber of Commerce, and we put a team together. It's called Getting Ready for Company. And we have made a jot list of everything we need to do to get our community ready when company's coming during the festival. So we're going to be mowing grass, planting flowers, and picking up trash. And if anyone wants to help, we'd love for them to jump on the team with us. We're actually going to start on the 15th, right before the festival. So we're right now mowing, picking up. So anyone that wants to help get us ready for company, we'd love for them to volunteer with us.
Now, and also, it doesn't have to be, one does not have to be a member of the Getting Ready for Company organization in order to help. So, you know what, I remember an expression that says, if you see something, say something. Well, as it relates to keeping our community beautiful and clean, if you see something, pick it up.
Exactly. And we said if everyone just looked out their front door, residents, businesses, churches, if everyone just cleaned out around their front door, it would help so much, and to do it on a regular basis. I know you didn't drop the trash, but people that ride by and they see the trash in front of your business and your homes, they don't know that. And it's a bad reflection of where you work and you play. So we just ask everyone just chips in together as a community and help us get this done. And not only when the company's coming, but let's do it all the time.
That's correct. That's right. You talked a little bit about a hotline. I mean, what's the purpose of that?
Well, we have this little program, and it's called the Litter Bug Hotline. And I thought I had my card.
You did.
I did. Did we drop it?
Yeah, I get it.
And it is for anonymous callers. If you are riding in your car, and I'm going to hold this up, and we have these, and you put them in your wallet, put them on the dash of your car. If you are driving and you see someone throw out litter, now, people don't understand, cigarette butts is the #1 litter problem in America. It is not biodegradable, and it will stay on the streets forever. You wouldn't believe how many cigarette butts we pick up.
You know, a lot of people probably don't realize
They don't realize that. And the worst place to find them is when you stop at a stop sign or a red light. That's where you'll find most of them. Or people walking down sidewalks. But we have.
So what you're saying, smokers need to get one of those containers that you can get at the auto parts store where you can
put it in.
Put your cigarette, and then you take them and empty them into the trash.
Exactly.
But I had no idea that was the #1.
It is the #1 litter problem in America.
Wow.
We are part of Keep America Beautiful, and then Keep Georgia Beautiful, and then we're the local. Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful is a local affiliate. Just learned that in a conference about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Cigarette butts. And I also learned that they are recyclable. So it's amazing. But we would like for you to use our Litterbug Hotline card. The number is 478-330-7053. All you have to do, if you see someone throwing trash out of a cup, car, truck, if it's an open bed truck and something flies out, please call this number. I do not answer the phone. It comes in anonymously. And then you give us the date, time, location, and tag number and what was thrown out of the vehicle. And then we have partnered with Macon-Bibb Sheriff's Office. And Sheriff Davis is also on the board with us, keeping our community clean. And we work together. I send in the tag number to him, and there's a letter that goes out, and it's very clear that says, on February the 28th, we saw you toss out a fast food cup at New and Cherry. And then it also goes in to explain what the ordinance is for littering. And there is a fine for littering. That could be up to $1,000 in our community for littering.
So you can be fined for littering?
Yes, sir, you can.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
So if anyone would like Litterbug cards, they're wonderful. You can just put them in the dash of your car or keep them in your, and you wouldn't believe people love doing this.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more when we come back about other programs, projects, and activities. KMBBC. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham, interviewing Ms. Pam Carswell, Executive Director of the Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful Commission organization. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Habersham, host of A Call to Action, which is a community service show that will be, and I just learned, I need to say this, that we've been doing this for 10 years. And it would not have been possible without the assistance of Trace, that's Trace, and Andrea Crum. You know, they have graciously consented to film this show for a decade. And I'm certainly appreciative of them. And when this show airs, I want them to put their picture up on the screen so we can see who they are. Now, back to Miss Pam Carswell and the KMBBC. I really think, and I was very serious when I said that the appearance means everything to a community, because you know that plays a role in the kind of rating that we get. It plays a role in whether or not we can attract new industries. It plays a role in whether when people come to town, whether they want to stay here or whether they want to go to some other community. And the more people that stay here, the more they can contribute to our tax base and volunteer in our organization and spend money. So it's important. to have a clean and viable community. So let's talk about some of the other programs that you want to talk about.
Well, I'm very glad to hear you say that, because that was one thing that we constantly keep in mind in our communities. Where it's clean, it's safe. And no one wants to live in a dirty community. No one wants to do that. And my philosophy is we have one time to make a first impression when someone new comes to town. It's a big decision maker when people come. We are an education type program is what we do. And we go into the schools and we teach litter prevention to our second graders in Bibb County schools and several of our private schools here. We do a lot of public speaking and training with civic organizations, churches, and that's how we build our volunteer base in here. We do what's called community cleanups, where you can come to KMBBC. We have grabbers, bags, and vests. It's no charge. All you need to do is just round up your volunteers and come by my office, pick them up, check them out, and bring them back. How easy is that?
So if there's a community anywhere, if any neighbor, any resident who's living in the community says, this doesn't look good, I think I want to clean it up, they can call your office and then they can get the vests and the bags.
Grabbers and just check them out.
Grabbers, you mean
the little pick up sticks to pick up the trash and bring them back. We're very excited this weekend. The National Guard is going to be cleaning up Highway 247 for us in Warner Robins, and they're coming in this afternoon to pick up bags and grabbers. Wow. We have 27 adopt-a spots right now. Churches, some of them are schools, civic organizations, Rotary clubs that have adopted spots. So they're open for anyone. And when you adopt a spot, we put a sign out.
There's an organization, a youth organization, a senior organization, or any public service type organization that's looking for a project. One thing that they can do is call your office, and then they can find an area of the community and clean it up.
Right. And call it their own.
Right.
One nice thing about it is we partner with facilities. We have a sign program, so if you adopt your spot and you're serious and you keep it clean, then we put a sign out that it says you have adopted this area with your name on it. So it's good advertisement for your organization, but it's also, I can't say enough about it. Look what you're doing to give back to and taking ownership of this community.
Now, so does that mean that a neighborhood association will take responsibility for a neighborhood and say, have a little sign with their name on it?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that, because we have what's coming up, the Great American Cleanup in April. And we will, all of our neighborhood watch programs participate in that program. And we're going to be doing a lunch and learn on March the 13th with all of our neighborhood watch programs. And we're partnering with Code Enforcement, one of our committees in here. We're going to be sharing with them about, we're going to be putting roll-offs out in the community. We're going to be doing a big kickoff that day, and everyone will have an opportunity to clean up their community.
Wow.
And it was a huge event last year. And when I rode around that Saturday, what I saw were neighborhoods, after they finished cleaning, they were grilling out hot dogs, kids were running around. Right. It reminded me when I was growing up in the neighborhood in Columbus. It was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for helping out today. And it's I think it's going to be a great tradition. We're doing it again this year.
That's outstanding. Family oriented.
It's family oriented.
Yeah, and I think it's a great
and parents need a role model for their children, because they're the future of our community.
Right. Anything else going on that you
we also, Earth Day is coming up.
Oh, wow.
And that's a big event for us on April the 24th.
May I say something about that?
Yes, sir.
I'm really concerned about Earth. I'm concerned about Earth, period. And I think we hold a responsibility. I mean, this Earth was in pretty good shape when I got here, and it was not on the decline. And I just want to say, and I'm no scientist and I'm no politician, not like everybody would think that I am. But I'm very concerned, and I think all of us should be. Those of us who have children, and those of us who have grandchildren, and those of us who enjoy nature, and those of us who enjoy the changes in the weather, and I think that as far as I'm concerned, we need to be concerned about our earth because it seems to be in danger. And like I said, I'm just going on what I've heard. I have not done the research, but I understand that several reliable scientists say that our earth is in trouble. So Earth Day is coming up, and I think that I want to just encourage everyone to be more conscientious about our earth. Go ahead.
I love hearing you say that because I am a former educator myself, and that is one thing that I teach children when I go out into the community. We have only one earth.
Yeah.
And if we don't take care of it, then what is it going to be for the next generation and the next generation? It's very sad to see. You're right. I think we've abused it in some way, and it's our responsibility to save it, keep it clean. We need to be recycling. We need to look at all the different landforms. You are so right, and that's why we celebrate Earth Day. We have a huge event at Tatnall Square Park. We have different vendors that come out and talk to us about Georgia Power will be there, how to do your solar panels, save the electricity, and that's the new thing that's coming out is more solar energy. It's a big family event. It'll be at Tatnall Square Park. All of our we partner with the farmers market that's in the Tatnall Square Park that day. They'll be there, different events going on. So I encourage people to come out and walk around so you can look and see what's coming.
Is that educational information?
It's very educational
on
information.
Earth Day, yes. We'll be there.
And we will be there. When you were talking about the cigarette butts, that day we'll be giving out disposable ashtrays that we want people to put them in your pocket. Keep them off the streets. We're going to be passing out our little
Put the cigarette butt in your pocket.
Put it in your. We'll give you a disposable ashtray you can keep in your pocket.
Wow,
that's pretty cool. Isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yes.
While we on Earth Day, let's talk about Andrea. How much time we have? Okay, let's talk a little bit about community gardens.
Okay.
There's an initiative that there's a fellow named Fletcher Batts, and he is saying that some of these empty lots and what have you can be converted into community gardens, and people could grow their own food. And my neighbor has a garden, and I'm jealous, But I think that's a pretty interesting concept, because that helps to contribute to Earth Day. You got wholesome foods and contributes to health and things of that nature. What you think about that?
This is what I would like to see us do, because I know blight is on a lot of people's minds in Macon, and where there is blight, there's could be crime. But if we take some of our lots in these neighborhoods and turn them into community gardens or parks, it would change the whole look of a community. And it's so simple to do. With a little bulldozer, clean it up, throw some seed in there, plant some trees, plant a garden. We actually planted a garden in the Pleasant Hill area a few years ago. Did you know about that?
Yeah.
It was what we call the Edible Woods Grant, and we put all kind of trees in there, plum trees, cherry trees. There's even olive trees up in there. And I have to say, Naomi and Peter Gibbons were instrumental in working with us.
Is it still there?
It's still there to keep the garden going.
Wow.
And they were our first community garden that we put in Macon.
Well, I think that plays a role in keep Macon-Bibb beautiful. Because it doesn't have to be a garden. It can be a garden. It could be just a tree or
flowers
or anything. But
so if anyone has a lot that they want to donate, we would love to work with them, and we can help.
You mean donate to
the land, just the corner or the lot or something?
So you want them to donate the whole lot,
and we can fix it up.
Okay. I'm trying to distinguish.
Okay, we can't buy the lot,
No, I don't mean, that's not what I mean.
but we can help develop
But
the lot.
can they keep the lot and you can help them do
Fix
something
it up.
on their lot, or do they have to give it away? Or either one would work.
No, they wouldn't have to give it away. We would just want to fix
Oh,
it
yeah,
up.
okay. That's
We could work with them and help them fix
Well,
it.
there are a lot of lots around this community that, and I think that they may be able to get some help in cleaning them off,
We
and
could clean them.
neighborhoods can make this a project. So I think that's a good thing, y'all. So we almost running out of time. So what else you wanna? Anything
One
else?
thing that we're doing right now is we have written a grant. We wrote a grant when we did the Downtown Challenge grant, and we put in dog waste stations downtown. So if you're downtown and you have a pet, we encourage you to use our dog waste station to pick up your dog litter.
Okay.
Especially with the festival coming, and a lot of people with all the new residents and lofts downtown, we bring pets.
Yeah.
We love pets. But we need to be courteous with
Yeah.
our pets and clean
Absolutely.
up behind them.
Absolutely.
So we want them to take advantage of our little dog waste stations
I
downtown.
heard somebody complaining about that yesterday at a meeting.
That they didn't have one. They did.
No, that
They didn't wanna pick
somebody
up?
was not respectful.
Well, that's what we need to
Yeah.
get the word out.
Yeah.
That there's no reason there should be any dog waste in our parks downtown.
Yeah, that's important.
And also we put in recycling containers downtown and trash cans up in our downtown through our downtown challenge.
What if somebody wants to learn more and volunteer or just be more informed of what's going on with KMBBC?
Well, we have Facebook. You can reach us on our Facebook page. Also, we have our webpage. It's kmbbc.org, and it's updated regularly. You can either call the office and come by and visit with me. We're at 794 Cherry Street. We're on the corner of Cherry and New Street. You can call me at 330-7054, and would love for you to come out and volunteer with us.
Okay, and you'll take more volunteers, right?
You can't ever have enough volunteers.
How about donations?
We love to have donations. Love donations for
This
projects.
is a call to action.
A call to
I'm your host,
action.
Alex Habersham. I have an interview. Ms. Pam Carswell, who's the executive director of Keep Macon-Bibb Beautiful Commission, which is doing a phenomenal job in trying to maintain the earth, maintain beauty in our community, keep it clean, and make it attractive. And whenever possible, she needs your help. Even if it's just telling on somebody. What you call that hotline?
The litter bug
Even
hotline.
if it's a little bug hotline, because we all need to be very, very conscientious as it relates to the importance of having a clean community. This is a call to action.
A call to
I'm
action.
your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com